a Dear Media original podcast.
Today's episode is brought to us by Factor. It's spring season, and we need wholesome, convenient meals to energize us for warmer, more active days and keep us on track when we're trying to reach our goals. And Factor is an amazing product that can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list. With Factor, you can rest assured that you're making a sustainable choice. They offset 100% of their delivery emissions to your door and source 100% renewable electricity for production sites and offices, and feature sustainably sourced seafood in their meals. This May, get Factor and enjoy clean eating without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door, ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. It's really, really easy. This is a really nice thing to have in your fridge. First of all, takeout's really expensive, and it's just like a cheaper, easier option. And the other thing is there's truly no mess. Like, you're just literally popping it in and heating it up, and it's that easy. I also love that they have so many different options. So if you're someone like me that really likes more greens and protein, you can do that. But depending on however you want to eat, they have an option for you. Head to factormeals.com/good40 and use the code good40 to get 40% off your first box. That's code good40 at factormeals.com/good40 to get 40% off your first box. Hi, welcome to Good Instincts. I'm Shira Barlow, but you may know me as the food therapist. Join me every Monday through Friday for bite-sized episodes designed to help you close the gap between where you are right now and where you want to go. This should feel good, like really good. And it will, I promise. So I have been obsessed with sheet pan meals recently. I've done a couple recently that we've talked about, but I go in phases. I go in phases of being really into one specific style of cooking. I was into air frying for a very, very long time, and I'm not saying it's over, but I am just so into popping stuff on one tray, putting it in the oven. There's like barely any cleanup aside from the cutting board and this one parchment paper that I'm throwing in the garbage. So I'm very, very, very into this, and let's jump right in. So the first thing to think about when you're doing a sheet pan meal is we want to make the veggies amazing. And the way to do that is that we want to cut them a little smaller than we would normally. Like, we're not having like huge hunks of like broccoli and cauliflower. You don't need to do them so small, but ideally a little smaller than normal and evenly. And then the other really important thing is that it has to be on one single layer. We can't like double deck. And I know that there's that want to do that because then there will be more for leftovers. But I promise you, single layer, because that's how you get that like crispy browning reaction. And then the other thing is that if you have a convection setting on your oven, now is your chance to use it. The circulating hot air in the convection oven will help cook everything really evenly. And if you don't have the setting, that is totally fine. Just in all of these, I do recommend flipping the food around halfway through. So if you're not using convection, I would just flip one more time to make sure everything is cooking evenly. Okay, so the first recipe is from Nom Nom Paleo. I think that she does just an amazing job. It's for tandoori chicken, and she basically uses chicken, onions, cauliflower, broccoli, and she makes this sauce with coconut milk and tandoori spices. I will link everything in the episode description. So she basically makes this mixture with the coconut milk and the spices, and then she coats the chicken and the veggies really well. And she does this at 450 for 25 to 35 minutes. Some of this is personal preference. Some of this is how your oven works. But if you check it halfway through, it's really kind of like a no-brainer. And she tops this with fresh mint on top, and it's just so good. It would be so good for lunch the next day too. You could do it with rice if you wanted to. You could put it on cauliflower rice. You could put it in like romaine spears and eat it like that. The next is a recipe that I learned from a postpartum doula, Stephanie Mathis. She cooks this salmon in this way that just always comes out perfectly. It's a combination of baking it and then broiling it. But I don't know. I know that doesn't sound very novel, but for whatever reason, the way she does it, and I have had it many times, it's so, so good. So the technique that she does is She preheats the oven for 400 degrees. She bakes the salmon for 5 minutes. And then she turns the oven to broil and then broils that for about 4 minutes. And you may have to do a bit more depending on the thickness or if you're doing more pieces. But that specific technique really, really works. The 5 minutes at 400 and 4 minutes at broil. So you keep an eye on it. And the really nice thing about it is that it's done really quickly. So the thing about that and the thing with sheet pan cooking in general is that you want to make sure everything's done at the same time. So if you're cooking things for a bit longer, that's a really good time to do the cruciferous veggies like Brussels sprouts or cauliflower or broccoli. But if something's cooking really quickly, like this, you could do really thinly sliced zucchini. So that's what I did. And then what I did is there is this dressing from Primal Kitchen, which is like a sesame ginger dressing. It's really clean. There's nothing weird in there. It's really, really low in sugar. There's like a hint of honey, but like barely. So I did a little bit of that on everything and did this technique and some really thinly sliced zucchini underneath. And it turned out so well. So this is just like a really easy, like spring summer recipe. And then the third and maybe most exciting is a chicken fajita sheet pan recipe. So I used one from a site called Damn Delicious. And it's basically cooking at 425 degrees for 25 minutes. And the key is to have the chicken very thinly sliced so it gets like real golden brown and crispy. She used white meat. I would use dark meat. That's just personal preference. So basically, what she does is she does a mixture of like chili powder, cumin, paprika. I like that she didn't go so spicy with this because this is something that then could be made for the whole family if you have kids. And then you could add more spice to yours on your own. So she did the spices, she did the chicken. She does a pound and a half of chicken, again, cut up into thin strips. She does bell pepper and onion, and she basically just pops that in there. It's done in 25 minutes. I would check on it halfway through. But for me, I would serve this with pico de gallo and guacamole. I would probably do this in like a butter lettuce wrap or maybe like a Siete Foods tortilla, but you could do whatever felt right to you. And again, the thing I love about this is like an amazing meal for a family because everyone can choose how they want to play it. You put out some tortillas, you put out some cheese if that's what people are into, but it's all there and it's like done in 25 minutes. To me, this is a dream right now. And I am in the process of trying to figure out like a Greek sheet pan meal with chicken and lemon and olives and potatoes, like those lemony potatoes. I would love to know if you're planning on making any of these or if you have any sheet pan meals that you love. Will you let me know? Come find me on Instagram at Shira_RD. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about spring cleaning and what that means in terms of streamlining our life a little bit. I'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening to Good Instincts, hosted and written by me, Shira Barlow. You can find me on Instagram at Shira_RD. Good Instincts is a Dear Media daily. Today's episode is brought to us by Factor. It's spring season and we need wholesome, convenient meals to energize us for warmer, more active days and keep us on track when we're trying to reach our goals. And Factor is an amazing product that can help you fuel up fast with ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and tackle everything on your to-do list. With Factor, you can rest assured that you're making a sustainable choice. They offset 100% of their delivery emissions to your door and source 100% renewable electricity for production sites and offices and feature sustainably sourced seafood in their meals. This May, get Factor and enjoy clean eating without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door, ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. It's really, really easy. This is a really nice thing to have in your fridge. First of all, takeout's really expensive and it's just like a cheaper, easier option. And the other thing is there's truly no mess. Like you're just literally popping it in and heating it up and it's that easy. I also love that they have so many different options. So if you're someone like me that really likes more greens and protein, you can do that. But depending on however you want to eat, they have an option for you. Head to factormeals.com/good40 and use the code good40 to get 40% off your first box. That's code good40 at factormeals.com/good40 to get 40% off your first box.